The link's in the comment, so you guys want to check that out right away. Go and get signed up. Yeah, the link's in the comments. It's a little bit to read, but nevertheless, there it is for you guys to check it out. 90-day challenge to passive income online. What I like to do is put positive vibes out into the universe. Written by Sarah Young. Enjoying peace in his presence. Jesus calling. Today is September the 26th, 2025, Friday the 26th, and this is today's reading for you all. May this reading be a blessing to the hearers and the doers of his word. Come to me and listen. Attune yourself to my voice and receive my richest blessings. Marvel at the wonder of communing with the creator of the universe while sitting in the comfort of your home. Kings who reign on earth tend to make themselves inaccessible. Ordinary people almost never gain an audience with them. Even dignitaries must plow through red tape and protocol in order to speak with royalty. Though I am king of the universe, I am totally accessible to you. I am with you wherever you are. Nothing can separate. When I cried out on the cross, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. This opened the way for you to meet me face to face with no need of protocol or priest. I, the King of Kings, am your constant companion. What a wonderful presence to What a wonderful present to have the presence of the Lord being by your side, constantly reminding you, if you would listen to his calling, how he will restore peace and harmony in your life. Um, Cross of Christ by learning who Christ is by reading his word and spending time in his presence. And this is how you spend time in his presence by reading his word. Praying for discernment of these scriptures that you read and for enlightenment that you may be inspired and also encouraged to have a mindset shift so that you can have the mind of Christ and no longer to be conforming of this world, which is a fallen place. This daily book of inspiration comes from the book of this word of inspiration comes from the books of Isaiah chapter 50, verses 4, 5, verse 2, 3, the book of John chapter 19, verse 30, and also, last but not least, the book of Matthew chapter 27, verse 50 through 51. And that is the reading for today of September the 26th. A king who is accessible, unlike our leaders of the countries, leaders of the states. Can't call on the president whenever you mayor. They're not accessible to us. Local legislators, senators, all of these people in position, all of these people in so-called power, they're not accessible to us. Only time they're accessible is when they need our votes. What a crying shame, right? 90-day challenge currently available. Links in the comments. So it's a shame, right? Check it out on YouTube and on Facebook and on the comments here. It is in the comments on YouTube. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my video if you're new. 70% of you guys who watch my videos are not even subscribers. I would like if you guys join the community. We're all about like-minded individuals making money online and protecting our mental health, having emotional intelligence. Check this out, though. This is what it's really all about at the end of the day. Before I really get started, I to have multiple streams of income, passive income online. It really brings you purpose in life, finding out what your passions are, and to be able to turn your passions into profit the similar way that I do and have done. But anyway, I was chatting with one of my homeboys the other day. Big shout out to Aaron as well if you're watching. Much love, bro. Nevertheless, we had a conversation. We was just talking about life and different things like that. Certain people you need in your life to talk to, as far as it's going to stimulate you and not drain energy and bombard you with a lot of nonsense. Key to mental health awareness. Be mindful of who you engaging with, what type of thoughts you entertain, and what type of situations you partake in. If it's not balancing you out, being equally yoked like in the Bible, it's time to put those things away and change the way that you think about the way that you see life, have a new perspective, a new point of view. But anyway, nevertheless, right? I spend time with people that stimulates my mind, spend time on situations that enriches my soul. I spend time physically, mentally, emotionally, everything that builds on to who I am to become. We're constantly developing individuals, and if not, then we're constantly perishing away from the lack of knowledge, from the lack of not even trying to adjust the way that we are, because we are sinners in a fallen world and we're born into this mess. So therefore we all are messy in a way. But the more we spend time with our creator, the more our minds become transformed into the light is something that you pick up and it's just with you. You used to practice each day, just like the pursuit of happiness. You pursue these practices until it becomes who you are. Someone nice isn't just born nice. They don't wake up nice. They practice it every time they get a chance to be mean to someone. Just like someone with a lot of patience, they're not born with patience. They practice patience every time they have a chance to be impatient with people, places, or things. So that's what it is. It's a lifestyle. It's not nothing to obtain and just hold on to and say, hey, I'm a Christian now. To be aware is to be alive, and to be alive is to be realistically living and engaging in reality. A lot of people aren't aware of what's going on. They're socially distracted, socially unaware, um, just running around with no focus, with no passion, with no purpose. And that's because discipline, it's because of the lack of discernment, the lack of awareness. People, places, or things are oftenly entities or energies, whatever you want to call them, right? And that's what I mean by the practice. If you practice these type of ideologies, if you practice these tips and tools, you will become more and more of who you need to be, more and more like Christ to handle these situations. Not saying once you become a Christian, if you desire to become, that things are going to be perfect and work out fine. Jesus never promised us a life of um, peace without troubles. Follow Christ are going to be persecuted. And you can see what's going on all the time, when people have a desire to change of heart, because we're all not aware of the dangers around us. God gives us visions in parts. If we were to be knowing everything, we would be doing everything. We would be in the positions we desire, right? But therefore, we're not equals to God. So therefore, we don't see the whole picture all of the time. We don't always know what's exactly the next step, the right move. Things in parts. We see things a little bit at a time. And that's because God gives us the ability of free will so that we can choose to go to where our vision is, or we can choose to create another vision. It is what it is. We are co-creators with Christ, and we are more than conquerors through Christ who strengthens us. So when you have a vision, and this is why I brought up my homeboy Aaron, we had a chat, and this is getting to that to wrap it up. When you have a vision from God, that vision is going to come to pass. God's words never come back void. I'm on that type of frequency. And it is what it is, right? It's a frequency, it's a vibe, it's an energy that you're tapped into, that you're gonna experience those things that come with that energy of those vibrations. And if you kind of lost on the sauce of what I'm talking about, this is what I mean. When you want to listen to the radio or a TV station and you're trying to get a certain channel, you have to have that energy, you have to have that connection. And if you don't have enough energy to get to that connection, you're going to be static. You're trying to find exactly that energy that's playing that TV show that you like, the energy that's playing that song that you want to hear. You got to tap in, meaning you have to make adjustments. And that's the same with the spirituality world, right? You have to make adjustments. You have to be in line. You have to be attuned with that energy, to feel it, to be in flow with it. It's like you're running a marathon, you're in a race, so distracted and distorted with things to the left and things to the right. This may be home situations, this may be the past. But nevertheless, as you're trying to run your race, your energy, your mind, your attention, your focus isn't present on the present task. And that's how a lot of people lose their blessings, they lose their vision, they lose their way because they lose their focus. And it's a battle of the mind. That's why I always advocate for mental health awareness, because the battle starts and believe it's true. If you believe that you're not a winner, that you're not going to make it in this world, that's exactly true. And the universe will continuously create scenarios and situations for you to experience exactly what you're thinking about and exactly what you feel. These two things align to manifest your reality. What you think and what you feel, those are powerful energies to manifest a pretty solid reality. Where the mind goes, attention goes, and energy flows as well. You feel you're in a state of lack and doubt,